Hello, Mount Sky families and students. Welcome to our 8th grade promotion for the 2020-21 school year. We thank you for all of your patience this year and everything we've done. I ask one more patience. This is the first time that we've done a promotion like this, and so we're very excited to try it, but we hope that it'll be well in honoring this event. First up, we would like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We have CJ Caswell Curry to come up and do the team's Pledge of Allegiance.
Will everyone please stand with me for the pledge? I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, CJ. Also, we would like to thank a couple people out there that are listening. Normally in a formal function like this, we have our audience members, and we like to have them stand and be acknowledged. Those who are amongst our families who are either currently serving or have served in our armed forces, we thank you for your service. Also, a day like today is a promotion day, which is our students are moving on successfully, and that's an acknowledgement to all educators. So for those families out there who have educators who work in schools or around schools or even support those schools, thank you. And that's for parents too. Thank you, parents, for giving your trust to us with your children, and also for being educators yourselves, being on those front lines day to day, encouraging your students to get in and persevere. We also would like to thank our planning committee for those who have helped put this together. This is a new experiment to do it this way, but we also have an activity in the gym and some pictures around our campus, so quite a few parents and teachers got together to make sure that happened. So we'd like to thank them. And of course, thank you to our students who have done such a great job this year and going back and forth through different models and persevering. So thank you, students. I would also like to mention that just before me, we'd like to thank Governing Board President Bill Adams for his speech. And at the conclusion of my speech at the very end, we will see Dr. Stanton, our superintendent, give his words. So hang on for that. And at this time, I would like to speak, or at least introduce, our teams. We do have one other announcement for any students, and I think this is acknowledging of a special award. Knowing that we have gone back and forth and all the different models that we've had this year, to acknowledge a student for outstanding attendance is amazing. So from Team 8B, we'd like to recognize Keatonburg for outstanding attendance this year. At this point, I would like to introduce the two speakers that will be speaking on behalf of Team 8B. First up is Gianna Molina.
Hello to my fellow 8th graders, teachers, and everyone watching. Thinking back to kindergarten and now, a lot has changed. I know everyone has thought of the day they will be in middle school. Take your time and don't rush it. Everyone thinks middle school will be like the movies, mean girls, cute boys, and jocks. Middle school is amazing. You don't feel like a little kid anymore because you are respected. You'll make a lot of memories to keep. Middle school is definitely an experience that I will treasure forever. The 7th graders and 8th graders of 2019 through 2020 didn't even get to finish their school year before everything went into lockdown. Let's be honest, it was nice. Summer started early and we didn't have to wake up early anymore. COVID-19 has affected a lot of us, but we all have stayed strong. At the beginning of the year, we started out online, then we went to hybrid, sadly we went back online, and now we are in person 5 days a week. I want to take some time to focus on us becoming freshmen, us 8th graders, and our teachers. It's exciting but also sad to say we will be freshmen next year. It feels like time went by too fast. We always wish for something, but when it's finally there, we wish we could go back. I know all the teachers and staff will miss us. Don't worry, we'll miss you too. Even though we were a lot to handle. Most of us will be Chiefs next year, so I hope to see you all again in our next chapter. Now for my fellow 8th graders. Online was hard. Maybe not for all of us, but for most of us it was. I'm insanely impressed with how we all even made it to this point. If I'm being honest, I'm really shocked that we all are even in 8th grade. I want to give a big thanks to all my teachers and staff at our school. You all have stayed strong and have dealt with us insanely well. I know teaching and working while in a pandemic was really hard for you guys, so thank you so much. For all my 8th grade teachers, you all have shown me different things. Ms. Brown, you have taught me how to open my mind to the next level. Ms. Grotto, you have shown nothing but love and support to all your students, even when you're having a bad day and you know how to make someone smile. Mr. Mueller, your fun way of teaching has helped me a lot, and thank you for giving me that one fly pass when I should have had more. Mr. Shockley, you are just the best soul. You're great at what you do and you always look at the bright side. Miss Lee, you love to interact with every student, and it's amazing how cool of a science teacher you are. I wish all you teachers a good luck with the upcoming 8th graders, and once an eagle, always an eagle. Oh, and Mr. Mason, don't worry, there's still one more Molina on the way.
Thank you, Gianna. Next up, Austin Coates.
Hi, I just want to start off by introducing myself. My name is Austin Coates. The last year has been crazy for a lot of people, and with March of 2020 changing our lives forever, and at least changing them for a while, if not forever, it is definitely something that will go down in history. COVID was something that was very unexpected and so sudden. It is something that is so crazy that I'm sure we all remember where we were when things all went down. It changed how we lived our lives on a daily basis, like in-person school, in-person work, because I know teachers weren't working in person because they would be teaching us. And for other people that aren't teachers, well, they probably weren't going into the office. But still, not really being able to get out of the house besides when you went to get groceries, going for walks, bike rides, or hanging out in your backyard, there weren't many options because most everything was closed. It was especially hard for us kids. The masks that we had to get used to and wear pretty much every time we went out, especially at school, which we're still wearing. A lot of the safety procedures at school and the sanitizing and social distancing. Sports were a big thing that was affected, and it was definitely disappointing and a struggle for me, and I know it was for other athletes out there. The only thing I did during quarantine to keep in shape and keep my skills on track was hit into my net with some balls and go for runs and bike rides. Also, if people had birthdays during lockdown, they probably had a very small birthday. I know for me, since my birthday was in April, it was just me and my family, and we had to make the best out of it. We were very limited, and that's another point. We all made adjustments to our schedule and overcame many challenges that we faced. That's something I'm proud of about our society during when the world basically shut down. Like Miss Lee taught us, animals, when conditions get bad, they adapt. That's exactly what we did. It's what we had to do, adapt to our new life. We were all there for each other along the way. That's where technology made things more convenient. Even though we couldn't be with our loved ones and friends, we could call, text, and FaceTime. Things to do for entertainment for me were playing video games, watching TV like Netflix and YouTube, and I know so many others were doing the same thing as well. More thing that COVID may have affected was people's happiness and overall mood. COVID could have made you not as happy as you were before. Maybe you found yourself feeling lonely, or maybe it caused you to be more stressed. Also, for some, it could have caused anxiety. It also could have affected people's social skills as well. But we got over it, and that is why it's important to be there for each other and keep battling through the struggles, as we are all in the same boat. We are not each other's enemy, and we have to try and keep spreading love and positivity. Finally, I want to thank the teachers and staff members for everything. Miss Lee, you were always in good spirits during online and in person, and I always had a good time in class. Miss Brown, entrepreneurship was always fun, and you were so laid back and a great problem solver. You always stayed positive. Mr. Mueller, you always made math really fun with all the games, and you always helped me understand if I was lost, and you were always ready to have a good day and be positive. I loved your class. Miss Grotto, English was always a class that I never enjoyed, but this year was different. You always came to class with a smile on your face, ready to go, and you always lifted my spirits if I was having a bad day. I always loved your class. Mr. Shockley, social studies was always a fun time, and everything you taught us was very interesting, and I loved the way you teach. You are always so nice, and you are a great teacher. I hope the rest of all of your teaching career go well. Before I go, I want to congratulate all of you. We made it. High school, here we come.
Thank you, students. It's always great to hear personally from them. At this time, I would like to introduce the team leader for Team 8B, Mr. Bob Shockley.
Parents, guests, administration, teachers, and the promoting class of 2021. I've been asked to give biography of the teachers who have tried to educate your children this year. This year has been a strange one with COVID-19, online learning live for the last 9 weeks. There have been many challenges, but the dedication of your teachers and the never-ending support of our students from their parents have led us to where we are today. There's over 82 years of teaching in 8B. One of those teachers have been teaching for over 30 years, and I'm the oldest looking guy, so it must be me. Mrs. Odo is the baby. She has been teaching only 4 years. I want you to know how many years the teachers have taught here on 8B. I'm very proud to be representing them today. We have one Eagle who will be leading the nest here at Mountain Sky to go out and teach the Eagle Way at another school or just leaving for a new adventure. Miss Brown has only been with this team for 1 year, but will be leaving us to go elsewhere. We want to say thank you, and we will miss you. Now, I could stand up here and tell you what college these teachers graduated from, but that's not what's important. What's important is what your child thinks about your teacher. Therefore, this is exactly what we're going to do. I've asked the students to write what made their teacher their favorite teacher. I've chosen between a number of entries and had to pick one per teacher, and this was a hard choice. Each student wrote their comment on their own, and their teachers have not heard them yet. So let's hear from the student. To represent Miss Lee, Janae New Ray.
Okay. Dear Miss Lee, thank you for being an amazing teacher. You have made science so fun. The way you teach it makes us want to learn it more. Thank you for all the fun memories. Going back from the Frog Lab and Hybrid to the time we made roller coasters and from the time we saw you at Castles and Coasters. Those times were really fun, and all the conversations we had in class. We love you, and thank you, Miss Lee.
Let's hear from Mrs. Brown, Keaton Bird.
Hello, I am Keaton Berg, and I am representing Miss Brown. Miss Brown, I have really liked. She would give us assignments that was structured around teamwork, and who would do what on the assignment and help each other out. She would really give us a different perspective on how to do our work and how to write it. And all the other teachers in 8th grade I am really thankful for, and you did, and I will not forget my 8th grade year. Thank you.
For Mrs. Grotto, Fernie Hernandez Ramirez.
I don't usually pick favorites, but if I have to, I would choose Mrs. Grotto. It's because she gave me an interest that I thought I would have, and that is literature. I would like to thank Mrs. Grotto for giving me that interest and being a nice teacher, and I hope her future students will have her as her favorite teacher as well.
To talk about Mr. Mueller is Kira Fredenberg.
This year hasn't been easy for most of us, especially for our teachers. They have put in so much effort into helping us through the year. My favorite teacher this year has been Mr. Mueller. Mr. Mueller has done so much for his students this year and has been consistent with our work, and he always finds a way to make math fun. I have learned so many new skills in such a short amount of time because of Mr. Mueller. He has helped me understand certain concepts of math that no other teacher could. I feel like I have improved in my academics, especially in math. I have a better understanding that I was lacking in previous years. Mr. Mueller has truly been the greatest teacher to me this year, and I could not thank him enough, as well as the rest of the team. Each and every teacher has contributed greatly to the students by teaching us as much as they could in such a short amount of time. Goodbye to the teachers, the staff, but most importantly, the memories.
To represent Mr. Shockley, Kevin Mosley.
If I had to pick a teacher to write about, I would pick Mr. Shockley. His class is more relaxed and simple. His class is fun because he tells amazing stories that you can learn a lot about life from. My favorite part of the class is that we do simpler stuff, but at the same time, we learn a lot. Mr. Shockley's class is so amazing because we all have our own chance to speak and share what we think. I also like how he teaches hands-on sometimes, and other times we work in groups or independently.
So as you can see, by what you heard, I'm not the only one that thinks that 8B is a special group of teachers. I'd like to thank all the parents who had the opportunity of trusting us for the 7 hours a day we educated your children. As for the promoting 8th grade class of 2021, I would like to leave you with his poem called The Man in the Glass. When you get what you want in your struggle for life, and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your parents, your children or wife, your judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He's a fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you cleaning up to the end. You may pass your most dangerous and difficult test when the man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of life and get pats on your back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartaches and tears if you cheated the man in the glass. I hope that you always find that friend when you look in your mirror. Congratulations to the promoting class of 2021. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Lee, as she will be calling the first group of students who are promoting today.
Hi, I'm Miss Lee, and this is my advisory. Myrna Badgery. Mia Briggs. Austin Coates. Lily Fernandez Torres. Mason Fosu. Preston Gwynn. Janae Johnson. Carly LaPre. Addison Lecky. Jennifer Lopez Morales. Rashad Martin. Lucas Montez. Kevin Mosley. Christopher Portella. Angelina Reyes. Calvin Shireman. Sebastian Sidney. Michael Velarde.
I would now like to present Ms. Brown's advisory.
Mario Andrade. Kevin Antonio Reyes. Nikolai Atkinson. Miami Blake. Joshua Crenshaw. Talon Flores. Daniel Garza. Ethan Granger. Alexa Gutierrez Valdovinos. Joanna Hernandez Lopez. Daniel Juarez Parra. Leonel Lopez Santiago. Kanan Manna. Nina Moore. Janae Newray. Luz Adali Orozco Cordoso. Augustine Jr. Pasillas. Ebony Perez. Jocelyn Perez Bojorquez. Sergio Jr. Jose Andres Piñon. Kali Ross.
Now presenting Mrs. Grotto's advisory. Keaton Berg. Ella Borchek. Genesis Cifuentes. Caswell Curry. Drake Farber. Kira Fredenberg. Aaliyah Garcia Nunez. Jaden Hazelwood. Briley Leffler. Zechariah McNeese. David Mercado. Gianna Molina. Noah Morales Martinez. Ivan Paravia. Fiza Rast. Alyssa Sandoval Gonzalez. Sarah Strawback. Luis Tellez Rendon. Devlin Tiernan. Mackenzie Trader. Ashley Valencia Hernandez. Musa Watts.
I would like to introduce the graduating class for Mr. Shockley's advisory. Monica Adam. Gabriel Adams. Andrew Cohill. Lillian Fimiano. Emily Garcia. Fabiola Gutierrez Algeria. Vernie Hernandez Ramirez. Lita Joe Matthews. Avery Paul. Brian Ramos Torres. Yurila Saleh Andia. Bradley Sangerman. Alex Shavartman. Gabriel Torres Garcia. Jesus Venezuela Lopez. Charlie Weibel.
Hello, my name is Mr. Mueller, and at this time I would like to present my advisory class. Valerie Chavez, Lizbeth Morales, Sydney Davis, Brian De La Cruz, Jonathan Delgado, Stephen Douglas, Ariana Gutierrez, Tuscany Heilman, McKenna Letchworth, Brashawn Lott, Ariel Sanchez, Delwyn Mendez, Robbie Pringle, Karen Santiago, Elijah Sylvester, Brianna Taylor, Anthony Torres, Cassandra Valenzuela, Connor Wingo.
So as you can see, that's quite a group that's come through here. We're very proud of their accomplishments. Thank you to the teachers, and thank you to the students. I'm going to say these words one more time, words that we've probably all said so many times we can't count them. What a year. We've probably said that before about previous years, but this one really seems to inspire that phrase. In the coming years, Our memories will start to evolve and possibly even fade. I hope we will never forget, however, that we as human beings have been trying to unite in our struggle this year. For the first time in generations, we have all been impacted by something together. All students, staff, and parents, we are all living through it in our own ways, with different challenges, but nonetheless together. Times like these can divide people, wound trust, and erode faith in human perseverance. But they can also inspire us to learn new things, which we all have. They can also inspire us to challenge to see each other in new ways, which we can and should continue to do. And trust in humanity's resilience as we never have before, which we must. We have just looked into the faces of students, our future. And I hope that you look at them with the same curiosity and hope that I do, which is that I wonder what this experience will have meant to them, what they will do with this, how this will impact their future, and what they will do to change the world. And then further ask the question, how can we, as the adults, help them mold that world? That is part of the story yet to be told. For now, this chapter closes, and sadly, this is where our bittersweet event happens, the moment where we promote our students on. Students, I hope as you walked the halls and see the gym on these last days, that you take a moment and think back about how big Mountain Sky must have seemed to you and what it seemed like as new 7th graders walking in. I know what you thought. The interesting and fun thing about what you thought we captured in cards when you were at Jumpstart, that 7th grade or before your 7th grade year. 80% of you all recognized that your biggest concern was, will I be able to find classes? Will I be able to know where to get from place to place? Will I be able to meet friends? Where will I eat lunch? All those important things you wondered and you were concerned about. Over half of you also mentioned that you were concerned that would your teachers like you? Would you be able to connect with friends? How will you find friends? All those things are very normal. And I imagine they're all the exact same concerns that you have moving forward, just maybe more sophisticated in your thinking now, but as you move to high school. Well, the good news is you've done it once, and you will do it again, and you will do it successfully, and you'll do it well. For now, you feel comfortable within these halls at Mountain Sky and within our gym. We call it our nest. We are the Eagles after all, and so we refer to this as the nest. But at this point, you now feel comfortable, and it's time. This nest is too small, and it's time for you to fly on and move into other areas. We look forward to seeing what your journeys will bring you. We hope that you will come back, because once an eagle, always an eagle. So at this time, one last time, before we close, and I send it off to Dr. Stanton to close out this proceeding, I would like you to say it with me as we say at the announcements every day. Make it a great day, and choose to soar like a Mountain Sky Eagle.